Hey everybody, it's Seti the Wind Sage, and welcome back to Let's Play A Kiss for the Petals, Maidens of Michael, Eris and Shizuku's route. In the last episode, we, we resolved the uncertainties that Shizuku had when it came to Eris, or more so we solved those like 2 parts ago, but we kind of saw the resolution of that, and saw a bit of the small Valentine's Day event they held. But disaster in some way seemed to quickly strike right after the fact. Or actually during the Valentine's Day event, really. Eris got a call from who we confirmed later on was apparently someone from her home country telling her to come back. And we didn't learn this till a little while later, but yeah, that's what happened. Though thankfully, from Risa, who we also heard the message from, Eris said that she's coming right back. But how long right back will be is, well, we don't know much. We don't know much about that yet. So for now, we're gonna have to hang on, and one more Shizuku's gonna have to hang on, and as the save says, probably with not much in the way of communication. Anyway, something to kind of note or talk about before we get into it. Well, 2 things of note. One, a lot of people are probably asking Seti, where the hell have you been? Well, I plan to make an update video about the topic, but just in case that doesn't come out, I don't make it, or you guys are just more so seeing these parts, got extremely busy. Things got busy, some school related, some personal, some admittedly a little bit of procrastination, but trust me, that's like 2% of the equation. I basically have not had too much of an opportunity to record, and thankfully that opportunity to record is slowly but surely becoming more consistently open for me. For example, I have a nut part recorded at the time of this recorded, but I haven't uploaded it yet, part 30, because I've not recorded any other nut parts, and yeah, that's how that goes. So yeah, here we are with that. And something else to talk about, because this is kind of a momentous occasion, is the day I'm recording this is May 4th, 2019. For those of you who have been kind of kept in the loop a little bit, the day that this Let's Play uploaded on YouTube for the first time was May 2nd, 2018. And if we go into the load, I first recorded this, or my first save, was around April 4th. I waited all the way till May to upload. Cause it's May, like, that's where it is, but yeah, basically, it's been, well, in this case, a year and a month, but it's been about a whole year since I started this Let's Play. Yeah, that's pretty insane to think about when you think about it. I've been working on this one Let's Play for over a year. Hell, I think the only one who would also have that distinction is, Kindred Spirits on the Roof, and even then, that's a maybe. I don't know if Kindred Spirits on the Roof was roughly a year long. I'm counting main story. I'm not counting post-game, which took me a while to get to, but yeah. There's a lot to think about with that, and honestly, it's kind of exciting. I was hoping to be a little more complete with this Let's Play, but we're closer to the end of than to the beginning at this point, and I've been really glad for the journey. I thank you all for the support during this, and I'm not going to get into too much little emotional stuff. That's always for the end of the Let's Play, but thank you all for supporting and the definitely growing interest in this, not only this series, but the growing popularity of the Kiss for the Petal series in general. So, yeah, thanks guys, and, you know, it's been a full year, but we should be getting to the end of this soon. So, yeah, but I guess the only way to really progress is to dive right back in. So let's go. Oh, so they're acting the graduation ceremony too. We always knew that they played like a part in the graduation ceremony, but I think this is the first time it's mentioned that like Reina asked them to do this. So I guess there's a little bit of context to that. I guess that's a good way to look at it. Isn't this even harder for you two being on the campus improvement committee at a time like this? I mean, they're probably gonna say no, but it's basically a yes, at least for Yuna, good God, yeah. Yuna had more than her fair share of issues during that time. And Nanami fared a lot better, but yeah. Also, something to mention, if my voice sounds a little weird, that could be a combination of two things. One, new mic, for those of you who've been listening to the net part, that basically explains all there is to it. The other thing about it, though, is I'm basically fully recovered, but I had a throat cold that, like, put me out of commission for, like, 2 freaking weeks. So I was supposed to get back to this scrap a little bit earlier, but nope. Fate said no, gave me a throat cold. I was basically out. And God, holy God, it was bad, too. Like, I was totally not able to record, and I sounded bad, too. So, yep. Put a bit of a damper on things, but we're back to it, so yeah.
まにはいいよね。そしてお茶受けがまたいいんですよ。
リサちゃんと2人で買ってきました。疲れた時にはやっぱり甘いものよね。
疲れるほどまだあなたは働いていないみたいだ。
You haven't worked hard enough to be tired yet. Man. Sorry if I'm being relatively quiet. I'm not always great when returning from hiatuses in terms of my commentary, but I'm also just kind of taking in this atmosphere a bit. The very familiar atmosphere, the nice calming music, and everyone's characters' interactions that I've grown to absolutely love. So yeah, I'm just kind of taking this in, letting the kiss for the letting that kiss for the petals flow, just flow back into me. It's also late. It's also kind of late at night, so a little bit lower energy, but have to be quiet. But that's relatively fine.
サラ、お疲れ様。それじゃ、いただきましょうか。たまに食べると美味しいですね。ミヤ、食べないの？
お茶が冷めるのを待っているのよ。
ミヤちゃん、猫舌なのかにゃ。
You know what? I'll give that pun a 7. Kind of creative. Haven't heard that one before, but yeah.
にゃーって何ですか?
Why did you say meow? And just like that. Whoop. There goes the joke.
本当に上品な甘さで美味しいわね。へえ、あんこの甘さが絶妙ですね。
しずく様、どうしたんですか? もしかしていつも決まったところの和菓子しか食べないとかあったりして。
いえ、そうではありませんが、いただきます。とっても美味しいです。ありがとうございます。
That's nice. And yeah, that is definitely what was going on at the time. I just, when they were talking, I just assumed that they were a little past that point. Everything was kind of recovering, but I guess not.
しずく様みたいに本格的にお茶を立てるのは無理だったけど、この抹茶も悪くないでしょ。
ええ、羊羹ととても合いますね。
Eris told me she developed a liking for Japanese sweets since coming to Japan. Okay, I want to point this line out because of something someone actually said. I am sorry, whoever commented this. Your name escapes me right at this moment. I mean, I can check, but I'll check. Okay, I thought this got rid of the music, but no, that's an app. But yes, very professional. I clearly did not. It's very clear I didn't expect to be bringing out the comments, but I wanted to bring this up because you guys have left some pretty good comments while I was gone. So, credit them when I can. And so Jeez, this comment is freaking buried somewhere. Where the heck is it? Oh, okay. Oh, this was Janelle. Oh, this was Janelle Awesome. All right. I better. All right. Anyway. Where she said on, I forgot what part it is, but it's the part I asked, but it's the part I made the weeaboo comment with Eris, or I'm more asked about that. And Janelle Awesome said, but Eris can't be weeaboo if she's half Japanese. My response to that comment, because I did want to give this comment a proper response in video, is twofold. One, I didn't know about that. I didn't realize Eris was half Japanese, or if I did know, I didn't remember at that moment. So that's one thing to say about that. And second, I kind of recommend that you, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you go back to that part, because at that point I go on saying that weeaboo might not have been the right term. It's probably more of an interest for the culture, but and all that stuff. So I didn't quite just call her a weeaboo and just stick to that. I said, I said for lack of a better term. But the main thing about that is that I think the point of it still is that, from my understanding of Eris' character, I might be a little wrong about this, and feel free to correct me in the comments, unless it directly spoils one of the games. But from what I understand, Eris was born and raised most of her life in whatever her home country was. I think it's somewhere in Europe, from what I understand. I think she's half European. If I'm wrong, again, you can correct me unless it spoils something in one of their other stories. But my point about that is that in that case, I think what I was saying still applies. Yes, she's half Japanese, but the thing about, like, perhaps, you know, what this stuff is, like an interest in other cultures, mostly stems from not being raised with it. And that's the point I was mostly trying to argue, is that I felt like that point was still, I felt like there's still a valid point to that, because you know, even though she's half Japanese, I understand, from what I understand, she probably wasn't raised with the culture. Again, I could be wrong, and I'm not trying to start an argument, but I'm more like, I saw that comment, thought it was interesting, and wanted to comment on it. So there we go. That's what I have to say on that. Anyway.
エリスはすぐ帰ってくるよ。だって雫がいないと何もできないんだから。
Yep, this is definitely a line that represents what it's like for Rayo to console people. Honestly, you know, I love Rayo, but like, it's very obvious that this isn't the type of thing Rayo is used to. So it's like, she's not used to consoling people and not quite sure how to do it. So it's like, hit him with that backhanded compliment. Or not, this isn't even a backhanded compliment. This isn't a backhanded compliment. This is just an awkward attempt at consoling.
レオさん。
そうね。すぐ帰ってくるわよね。私がいないと何もできない。レオと同じよね。
And of course, Mai with the counter burn.
そんなことないわ。私だってマイがいなくても。
I'm really curious how this sentence is going to end.
何？聞こえない。
マイのバカ。
It's funny she says stuff like this though, because like this is the tsundere-ness kicking in front of other people. But let's be honest, she's made it clear that she really has a dependence on Mai. She's admitted that in her route, that she's like, I have you, Mai, so I don't need any other friends.
ありがとう、レオさん。 なんだかもう疲れてきました。やっぱり教室に戻りましょうか。
Yeah, this is a very also relatable thing. Like, what kind of goes with loneliness and stuff like that, where it's like, the human mind for some reason, like, it protects you from all this shit, but sometimes it just feels like it hates you. And, like, this is how anxiety and stuff like this work. I understand that anxiety, to an extent, is just, like, is supposed to be, like, a natural, like, self-defense mechanism and all the brain and all the psychology of all that stuff, but like, it's meant to make you feel unease on purpose, like, for your own protection. Like, I think that's usually what it's about. Well, but aside of that, yeah, it kind of, like, this is just kind of anxiety and all the different pathways your brain takes. Kind of when it does, like, things like your brain just starts going down really, like, negative or destructive paths, and like, ooh, it, like, with a lot of negative emotions, it does that. It's like with depression, where it's like, no matter how happy you can make yourself, sometimes it's just not enough. Like, how happy you try to make yourself, you try, like, your depression becomes your own worst nightmare, and all these good things you're suddenly finding bad in them, and like, yeah, this is that thing where it's like, oh, I'm gonna go for a change of pace because it sucks being alone inside, and it's like holy shit, it's cold. And now it's like, if Eris was here, she'd be wrapping her arms around me to warm me up. It's like, this is the exact, like, this is the, like we're seeing a thought process at work that very real and very, very relatable. Still sucks, but yeah, I really like how they're handling this with Shizuku. Again, this can come from an appeal of not knowing what Shizuku's character was like before this point, but I really definitely do really like Shizuku. But I'll save a lot of stuff like that for an end, for the end of this, because Lord knows that Lord knows that I drone on and on there, and better there than here. Because I'd rather drone on at the end of a part that people can skip than in the middle of one.
もうあなたってどうしてそうなの？
この声はマイさん？
Oh yeah, that's another thing. You're also your own worst nightmare when you're alone. Like, cause then no one is there to, like, because then sometimes no one is there to stop you from just being with your own thoughts, and that can easily drive you crazy. I know I've driven myself mad before with stuff like that. And this is where having more people you're close to than just a significant other comes into play. Sometimes you need friends for when, you know, you can't be with other people close to you. Sometimes you just need a friend to lean on.
マイさん。あ、レオさんもご一緒だったのですね。
せっかくのお弁当こんなに残すなんてもったいないでしょ、レオ。
だってお腹いっぱいなんだもん。
レオ、あなたお菓子食べたでしょ。
食べてない。
あれだけお菓子を食事代わりにするなって言ってるのに。そんな子は春休みどこも連れて行きません。
なんでよ。
当たり前でしょ。
温水プール行くって言ったのに、せっかく水着新しいの買ったのに。
新しい水着？
無駄遣いじゃないわよ。前のやつが少し小さくなったの。
小さく？それはないでしょ。
Yeah, no, Chusma, Reo, that implies that you grow. And I wouldn't be surprised if you've basically been the same height for a good while. Again, not to joke on the vertically challenged, you know. Like honestly, I'd rather be a like I'm almost 6 feet and I'm like I'd rather be a foot shorter than a foot taller. But still, it's like it's very clear that Rayo has like Rayo is just waiting for that growth spurt. That's probably never going to happen. Or who knows? Maybe the sad fact of the matter is she's already had a growth spurt. And there's just like nothing left for her to look forward to.
まあ、今後こんなことは絶対しないっていうのなら連れて行ってあげてもいいわ。
本当に？
ええ。それと今日うちに戻ったらその水着を着てね。レオちゃん水着ファッションショーをやるから。
バカ、そんな恥ずかしいことできないわよ。
Again, she's doing the don't be stupid thing, but at the same time, she's giving that shy smile. To an extent, I feel like she knew that would happen. Like she brings up the new swimsuit, and she's got Mai's attention immediately. Because keep in mind how immediately Mai calmed down after that fact. Yeah, Mai is really good at kind of like controlling Rayo a little bit or getting Rayo to do what she wants, but it does work the other way around too. And we saw that before where they had that fight over like that heater remote, where it's like Rayo was able to get the one up on Mai, but Mai had preemptively gotten the one up on her. But like it's interesting to see Rayo have the upper hand in something because it shows how well she knows Mai. And the fact that they know each other so well means that they probably, you know, they understand each other, maybe listen to each other when they talk, or just they've been together long enough to get a feel for each other, and they really understand each other. That's love.
なんだか声をかけてはいけない感じですね。
And of course, all this talk about love and Shizuku is here pretty darn lonely.
マイさんとレオさん、本当に仲がいいですね。だけど、もう今はそれどころじゃありませんね。エリス。やっぱりご迷惑でしょうか。連絡する時間もないくらい忙しいのですか、エリス。やっぱりかけてみましょう。忙しいと言われたらすぐ切ればいいのですから。なんでこの音が。どこから音が。
Oh God, did she? Oh God, that. She was in such a panic when she left before. Did she leave her phone behind? I thought she'd had her. You'd think she'd have her phone in her hand or something. Well, no, she did hang up and then just very quickly leave. Oh god, I was bringing up Murphy's Law before, and I was resisting the urge to say it a little earlier this part, but right, Eris, Eris seems to be Murphy's Law, the character at this point. Ooh. Even the other characters who have their anxieties and stuff like this, I feel they're not being hit even as bad as this shit. For those who don't know, Murphy's Law, when the worst, and I know I explained this last part, but still, when the worst possible case scenario can happen, it will. And that seems to be what's going on here.
どうしてこんなところにエリスの携帯があるのですか?
Hopefully she's realized she's missed her phone. Hopefully she's realized she's missing her phone at this moment, by the way. Because if she's gone this entire trip and not realized, crap, my phone. What? Hey, that certainly confirms that you're busy, if that's the case.
あの時忘れていってしまったのですね、エリス。携帯がないのでは、エリスから連絡が来るはずもありませんよね。エリス、寂しいです。早く帰ってきてください。お願いですから。
Oh god, I was half expecting a CG. You just see Shizuku crying. What? I was half expecting just a CG. She was like, where Shizuku's just clutching Eris's phone and you see her tearing up, but it's like, that would have freaking murdered me. Like, there'd be no more parts after this because I would have been dead at that moment because like, all this emotion, it's so good though. It's like, it's so sad, but I'm so compelled at the same time. I loved it. I love this series for very much good reason.
そう言われてもね。霧島さんの気持ちもわかるんだけど。わかってくださるならお願いです。どうかエリスのシトゲエリスさんの連絡先を教えてください。担任の先生は何と言ってるのかしら？どんな事情であれ、学生の個人情報は絶対教えることができませんと言われてしまいました。普通はそうよね。ミカジョは有名人や大企業の子供もいたりするから、その辺は特に厳しいのよね。あなたもわかるでしょ？はい、わかります。だからこそレナ先生にお願いしているのです。無理は承知です。でもこのまま卒業式までエリスと連絡がつかないなんてことになったら、私
はOh, jeez. Wow, it's not often you like. It's not often that you see. Not often that we've seen Shizuku just break down like that in front of someone else too, especially not she really doesn't like the inconvenience of this, so I imagine just breaking down in front of people is not something she'd do often as to not burden them. Possibly there could. I'm not quite sure about that, but she also likes. I feel she also likes to hold this sort of like. She likes to hold. She has like to hold this sort of image. Like not like deceptively, but it's like she likes to hold this image of being polite and traditional Japanese stuff, all that, because I know that's a big thing, a part of her character. So for her to just kind of break down like this is just, this also says something about Reina though. How at least Shizuku views her. There is a merit to that. Reina has an odd way of just making things work, and she does very clearly have a sympathy towards, you know, young love. So I can kind of get how Shizuku's feeling about this. But this is also where it's like, okay.
このまま卒業式までエリスと連絡がつかないなんてことになったら、私は
Okay, I didn't mean to let the whole line run, but there was no way I could just cut off the line early. But there's also the fact that she's like, if it ends up that I don't hear from Eris before the graduation ceremony, then where it's like you're seeing this desperation. She's kind of like really speaking from the heart and just raw emotion. Where it's like she's not trying to filter it through you know, be dignified, she's not trying to filter it through a be dignified or like she's not filtering it through any sort of like I have to be dignified or I have to keep calm, stuff like that. No, just raw emotions, how she feels, nothing else. And so yeah. This Reina Sensei to the rescue. Did I just call her Reina Sensei? I think that's the first time I've ever used the. I think that's the first time I've ever used the. Is this the first time I've ever used the honorifics in the? It might be the first time I've just used the honorifics. Period. I have some little interesting quirks with some things where I'll address like even characters certain ways, like for example, I'll sometimes refer to a character by their last name. I do that with Saihara a lot, and I'm starting to do that with Giri Giri from the Danganronpa series, and like there's even some characters where like I'll refer to them with some sort of like kind of honor or respect. Like I'll use the Mister or the Miss when I don't need to. Just out of just like a sense of obligation or just comfortability. But I think that's the first time I've used honorifics for a character. Anyway. Is this Reina to the rescue again? It looks like it.
Reina sensei, これって。シー、黙って。ありがとうございます、先生。他の先生には内緒よ。これは先生としてではなく、帝女の OG として後輩の頼み事を聞いただけなんだから。はい。
And thus, Reina once again flexes her keenly unique powers to make things happen. I think she's done that on every single route. Even in Sarah and Kaide's route, where I don't even think she ever physically appeared. She pulled the strings to make that photo shoot happen. And I definitely ain't forgetting how she was used in Yuna and Nanami's route. Yeah, it all leads back to that. Reina is certainly very unorthodox of a character. And she does very interesting things, but hell if they don't work. I should be ending the part here because it's a good place to end the part, but you know what? Sorry to be a little jerkish, guys, but cliffhanger, guys. Next time on Kiss for the Petals, Maidens Michael. Well, like it said, attending graduation all alone. So, see you guys then.